Well guys, it's another cold winter day in the middle of freaking April in New Hampshire. We had pretty much the worst weather the last couple of days. It was downpouring, like so much to the fact that like I was hydroplaning on the highway in this thing. So like it was freaking raining like crazy. The day before that it was freezing rain, then it snowed, and like pretty much most of it's gone now. But if you guys follow my Snapchat, which if you don't already, make sure to do so. We got like 70 people on there now, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, it snowed yesterday. There was, you know, like it wasn't all splotchy. It was like a real nice layer of snow, which is wonderful because my my Trans Am down here, which I know I posted 2 videos on it, but Trans Am over there, the Firebird over there, just got completely freaking just like just snow all over them and just rain and everything. So yeah, one of the cars doesn't have a hood on it either, as one of you mentioned last video. It has a tarp over it, but I didn't really put it on that great because I didn't know it was gonna freaking do this for 3 days straight. But anyway, that's not the topic of this video. Today we're doing a video on the truck, and we're going to talk about why I will never buy another set of bias plies for a street truck. So this truck isn't really a street truck. It does go off-road. Which is why I got these tires. But honestly guys, if I were to be able to redo it, I would have got a 37 and I would have got a radial. Because actually, what's that noise? Listen to this. Oh, those are the beads in the bottom of the tire. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm guessing those are the beads at the bottom of the tire. But why I wouldn't buy bias plies, at least in this size. All right, so these are 38 by 13 on a 15-inch rim, and they're just, I don't know, bouncy as all fucking hell. They're not super loud. Like, they're pretty loud, but they're not crazy loud, like to the point where it's not bearable. But these things, dude, if they're cold, the last couple of days, man, it's been so cold out. Like, and like I said, freezing rain, and these things just don't warm up. Like, and they get flat spots, and you're driving down the road 30 miles an hour, just thunk, 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 like. Did you
talk about vice presidential possibilities as Senator Warren?
Pretty bad. So I probably would never buy bias plies for a truck that I drive on the road ever again, to be completely honest with you. The only reason that I got the bias plies are because they don't make any 38s for a 15-inch rim in a radial. I would have had to get a bigger rim, and honestly, it goes 100% with the look that I was going for, with like the big meaty tire and, you know, a whole lot more rim than tire, so it looks like an off-road truck, which really it's pretty much built to be an off-road truck. I just probably wouldn't go bias plies on the street again if I had to redo it. So once these things wear out, which I don't know how long that'll be, probably be quite a while because I don't drive the truck much, I'll be going back to a radial. But yeah, just kind of like an FYI thing for those of you that are looking at bias plies with huge sidewalls. The street manners are just not there, especially when it's cold out. It's just, they're just real bad. They're real bad. Like, literally not even exaggerating at all. You go down the road 30 miles an hour, and it probably takes them, I don't know, like 20 minutes to warm up or so, and you're just thunk, thunk, thunk the whole way until they warm up. So they're pretty nuts. But today's actually, it did rain this morning, but it stopped, so I was finally able to get out here and do something. This was all snow yesterday, dude. Like, literally you can see where my car drove through the snow and then it melted around it, so it was pretty cold. But yeah, today's just the first day that I've been able to actually get out here and record anything because it's just been raining. Which kind of sucks that it's getting cold out too, because it was super nice last week. Like, if you guys watched the videos last week, it was super nice out, and now it's not. But hopefully when it does get nice out again, I want to tint these windows, but I have a feeling that the tint, like the tint film stuff, isn't really going to want to stick to a cold surface, like a super cold surface. So that's going to have to wait till it gets warm out. But pretty much sitting in this truck though with no tint on it, like there's no tint on these windows at all from the factory. They're just like 100% clear windows. So it's my dog's barking, I don't know why, but it's just like a fishbowl in there, and it's just super bright and everybody can like look in and see you. So I'm not a huge fan of that, like sitting at a stoplight and people are just like looking at the truck and they're looking at me, and it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm just sitting here with these people looking at me. So I'd like to have a little bit of tint on there so that it's kind of not as, I don't know, so they don't see me as much, I guess. I still need to clean this bed liner off. I got a little overspray when I did the paint job. That'll just come right off with a razor blade. It'll just scrape right off, but I haven't done it yet. This thing is still a work in progress. I've still got a lot of things that I want to do to it. But yeah, moral of the story for today, guys, bias plies with huge sidewalls, don't buy them if you're going to be driving them on the street. So it's not super cold out today, it's probably like 45, but I'm gonna see if I can show you guys just like how bumpy it is with these big sidewall bias plies on the street once you first, like when they're not warmed up, because it's not a comfortable situation. So like I was saying before though, it's not all that cold out, so they're really not doing it right now. But anything under 30 degrees when the tires get frozen, I don't know what rubber freezes at, but like I noticed at like 30 degrees they bump like crazy. Like I'm already going, I don't know, 40. My speedometer says 30 something, but at 40 they're just, I wouldn't even be able to do 40 basically. This thing is crazy bumpy though. It's freaking bumpy as hell. I don't know, that's what you get though. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying, like, that's what you get when you buy bias plies. So, yeah, you can see it is shimmying a little bit right now. It's up and down, up and down. That's what you get though. It's gonna wear the hell out of everything up front. I know that. I'm not concerned with the stuff in the back, like the leaf springs, like those will be fine. But all the bushings up in the front end of this truck, it's gonna shake those to pieces. So, and it probably won't take that long to do so. These trucks with the twin traction beam front ends, they're not all that great. And there's guys that are gonna tell you, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, but they're just not very great front ends. You can't align them right, and they're just real hard to deal with. They're just not good for, like, I'm sure in a stock configuration they're fine, but got a guy with some hay bales. I'm sure like in a stock configuration they're fine, but when you lift them and put big tires on them, man, you need a solid axle. Like, it's literally just gonna tear the hell out of everything up there. So I'll keep you guys updated on when something finally fails, because it probably won't take long. And my check engine light went out again. It goes on and it turns on and shuts off like whenever the hell it feels like it looks like. I don't know, I never actually like checked the code for it, because for the last 3 years that I've had the truck, it just on and off. It'll stay on for like a month and go off for a little bit and then come back on. So it's nothing like bad, you know what I mean? It's probably just telling me something stupid like, oh, you have a intermittent misfire, which I don't fucking care about. Or something stupid like that, that just comes along like every once in a while. I don't know. Or the lights could just be throwing codes for stupid stuff, like emission stuff, which is what I think it's doing actually. Because this truck doesn't misfire at all. I think it's just throwing codes for, I don't know, emissions or something like that. Because I don't have a stock exhaust on here. And I don't remember if it did it before or after I changed that. So, I really don't know. What I did? Oh, it's gone. I left my water on the light bar. Oh man. Oh, I wonder when that fell off. Anyway, guys, I got a pizza, but yeah, just picking this up where I left off. Closing statements. I probably would not buy bias plies again. At least not this big with this much sidewall. I think that's where my issue really lies, is how much tire that I have compared to how much rim I have. So I'm sure if I went with like a bigger rim and not quite as much sidewall, then I wouldn't have, I mean, as harsh of a ride, because there'd be more to support the tire instead of just having the tire kind of being able to do whatever it wants to, which is kind of what happens now. So yeah, I wouldn't really buy bias plies again for a truck that I'm going to drive on the street. I'd probably just stick with some radials, maybe get a slightly bigger rim, even though it doesn't really give you the same look with having a bigger rim and less tire, but it would ride a whole lot better. So yeah, I guess that's just my closing statements. I'm not really bitching about having bias plies on the truck, because it was my decision and, you know, I knew what I was getting into with it. But yeah, I mean, you can't take this thing on road trips or whatever. Like, you can't, I mean, you could, but it's just not, it's not a comfortable car to drive for like long periods of time anymore, now that I did that to it. So yeah, that's just kind of the update on how I like the bias plies, if I'm satisfied with them. Off-road, they're great. On-road, not so much. But yeah, anyway guys, if you want to follow my social media, all that stuff is on the screen right now. If you have any suggestions for future videos, you can leave those in the comments. And yeah, make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, or if it helped you out, if you were looking at buying bias plies maybe. I guess this video could have helped you if you were thinking about doing the same thing that I did. Just so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Because I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, really. I knew that they would kind of flat spot a little bit when it was cold, but it's pretty aggressive. So yeah, alrighty guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.